How many vision boards does it actually take for your life to really change? Maybe, like me, you filled your Google Calendar with new habits, created 20 vision boards of your dream life, and ended up frustrated because no matter how hard you try to manifest it, nothing happens. But today, I want to share the small nuance that finally made it click for me. Because everyone says the key is to act like the person you want to be before you become them. But do you really know who that person is? Hi, I'm Nessa. I'm 43 years old. I'm in the middle of a full life reinvention, which many people consider completely unreasonable at my age. But I don't care. This isn't my first attempt. In fact, I've been visualizing my ideal life for at least 20 years, or maybe more, because in my mind, I'm still 35. I know perfectly what that life looks like. And yet, something always ended up not working. Until last year. You know, in all that research about becoming who you want to be, I came across 3 types of, let's say, gurus. Wake up at 5 a.m., work out, eat more protein, don't watch Netflix. I get exhausted just looking at them, bro. I find their psychological and practical approach interesting. Sometimes. Feel the emotion of your future self, and your energy will attract it to you. How many people are sitting on their couch waiting for their life to change just because they imagined it and decided it's already theirs? Once, I told a psychologist that even though I knew who the woman I wanted to become was, I couldn't seem to reach her. She told me my expectations were unrealistic, but that wasn't true. And today, I have the answer to my doubt. I couldn't reach her because, in reality, I didn't know who she was. The Nessa from 2 years ago had absolutely no clue who the Nessa of today would be. She was extremely happy because finally her vision board had come true. The house, the handsome man, she had talent, also a plan B, C, D, E. As you already know, out of all that, only the talent remained. And in that specific moment, I didn't even think I had that. Until last year, I realized I was focusing on the visualization in the wrong way. I was thinking about my future self from the personality and the fears of my present self. When the proof has been that time and the circumstances you go through transform you into someone else entirely. Therefore, that future me had many of my current fears already resolved, and many other new ones that I can't even imagine. So, how could I map out a path toward her then? First, you need to know everything about yourself. And I mean everything. The good and the bad. Talents, values, fears, beliefs, what you have, what you want. Go as deep as you can. And then dig even deeper. There are many ways to do this exercise. Journaling, solitude, asking the people who know you well, even looking at photos of yourself as a child or teenager. Write everything down, or just record voice notes on your phone. Imagine your ideal life. Create your vision boards and Pinterest folders with all the details. Go deeper and deeper each time. And then, here comes the turning point. When I was in Bali, I started meditating. I had tried many times before without success, but there, maybe because of the fact that it really is the island of the gods and they're all there, I managed to do it for real. One of the meditations I used to do was to meet that future Nessa and ask her questions. The goal was to interview her and understand the way she thinks, what she does for a living, and why she does it all. To observe how she moves, what she transmits, to ask her my doubts and see how she responds. Why does she dress the way I imagine her? How did she pay for the house she lives in? ¿Quién es ese hombre? My goal with this is to know her almost as well as I know myself. Now it's time to put both parts on paper and draw the path that connects them. This is exactly where I am right now, and I'll explain it with a very clear example. One of my present characteristics is that my finances are a mess. Some of my inherited limiting beliefs around money are: money is very hard to earn, money turns people into bad human beings. And yet, future Nessa runs her own business, has a beautiful home, animals, and even a café where she teaches workshops. To achieve all of that, she had to learn that you can make money doing things you enjoy, that selling products and services made with soul is a voluntary exchange, and that earning money doesn't make her a bad person. Quite the opposite. It allows her to help even more people while opening new possibilities. From this, we can extract that present Nessa needs to change her beliefs, sell and realize she's not harming anyone by saying she sells things, learn how to manage her finances. So now, finally, we can create habits that align with her personality and actually make sense in her life. Now, we'll also know how that life feels because our future self will have shown and explained it to us. We'll talk about that in the next chapter, but remember not to try to change all at the same time. Think that just choosing one thing and start changing it, that action will turn your straight line you imagined into something that looks more like this instead. You might think this will change your future personality, but in reality, it's precisely those unpredictable inflection points that create it. Most sources tell you that your past self has to disappear, and here I have my objections. It's true that in order to evolve, we have to leave behind many parts of ourselves that are no longer useful. For example, Vanessa's mindset, who joined the police because, in her beliefs, being a civil servant was the only way she could earn money, and in Spain, that's the ultimate goal for the lower middle class. But I also believe we must honor that part and integrate it with love. Sit her on a couch, wrap her in blankets, give her popcorn, and let her watch the series she no longer has to star in. It feels incredibly cruel to me to toss her away. Because following with example, even though I want to completely pivot my professional career and life, I don't want to erase the cop Nessa. She didn't just secure a safety net in case everything fails. She also developed qualities that I still like to access from time to time. She's still there, a part of me. In full coherence with my words and intentions, I'm taking my first steps towards something tangible beyond this channel. I've created a small free ritual guide, very cute, called The Awakening of the Phoenix. It's available in English and Spanish. That's obviously the gate entrance to my brand new newsletter. I promise not to flood your inbox, just one lovingly written letter at the end of the month. I also created something very special, and I'm excited to tell you about it. It came from understanding that I can integrate all my past selves. The image consultant, the police officer, the artist, the peculiar woman now walking through the world. I've called it the Phoenix Path. It's a one-on-one written service, so you don't have to walk alone if life has shaken you. And what you want is to see that shake-up as an opportunity to bet on yourself and what you truly want. You'll find all the details linked below. I've always wanted to create something that truly serves others, because I strongly believe that when we grow strong on the inside, we can shape what happens on the outside. In today's fast-paced world, walking toward that projected version of yourselves takes time. As I show you here on the channel, I'm still learning things every single day, and all of them take a lot of time because I'm learning them from scratch. Learning is a process. It takes time, especially when it's completely new and in areas that aren't exactly your strengths or passions, like finances or social media are for me. Let your progress be natural. Don't let any guru convince you otherwise. Be kind and trust yourself. And subscribe to my newsletter, which at this exact moment I'm still learning how to make, but I'm sure you like it. And of course, tell me what you think about visualizing your ideal self. If you have any techniques or rituals I didn't mention that could help the community, I'd love for you to share it in the comments. Thank you for being here and for the encouragement last week. You are amazing. I'll see you again next Sunday. Take care. Goodbye.